All right, everybody, welcome to the next game in the 1990 Cincinnati Reds replay. I get this thing to line up the way I need to. We're at May the 3rd, which is the second and final game of the New York Mets series. Reds won the previous game, which was the first game of the series. They won it by the score of 5-2 as they got the loss to Viola. Charlton made a spot start when Browning came up injured, pitched 5 innings, and he got the win. Myers got the save, and Viola took the loss. So with that win, the Reds are now 13-5. They won 3 in a row. So as we go to our game day charts to get the mood of the Reds, we're going to be using the number 3. If they roll a 1, 2, or a 3, they will be fully harmonious and on the sunny side of the chart. If they roll a 4, 5, or 6, then we go to the decide or die to figure out what their mood is. That's a 3, so they're going to be fully harmonious, and they'll be on the sunny side of the chart. So let's see what becomes of that. Now, you can still have an injury if you roll a 6, so you got to be careful about that. So even on sunny, you can get an injury on a 6. We got a 5, so 5, according to the sunny side of the chart, is local media. So but right here, local media, 1 to 4, there's a perk. 5 or 6 is no effect. It's a 3, so there's a minor perk with the manager. Minor perk with Lou Piniella. All right, so now we're going to come down to the manager, which is at the bottom of this list. Manager minor perk right here in this section here, and see what number comes up. It's a 1, so it says choice semi-quality to hot batter this game. Okay. Well, the hot batter for this game, based on the previous game, look at the Reds' previous game against the Mets. The hot batter, in my mind, as I determined it to be, was Barry Larkin because he was 2 for 5, single and a double. So I gave him the hot batter of the game. So Larkin is a hot batter. He also is going to obtain a semi-quality of my choice. So we look at Larkin's card. Let's get his card out and move this out of the game day out of the way now, because this is just for the game. It's not an ongoing thing. It's just a one-time deal because it's a minor. If it had been a major perk, it would have been a different story. But since it's a minor perk, it's a one-time deal. So we go to Barry Larkin's card, and there is his numbers. Hero, semi-scrapper, semi-eager. I'm going to make him a semi-home run king for this game. So this game only, Barry Larkin is going to be a semi-home run king. So it's going to be a semi-scrapper and a semi-home run king, which seems kind of contradictory, but or I could make him a semi-champion too to go with that hero. That would be another one. But I'm going to go with semi-home run king. So that's going to be his perk for this game only. So to keep in mind, if we get a result that asks for a home run king, if we get the dot, then he would be a home run king for this game only. So that's the game day chart. And since no entries came up, we keep our original starting lineup. That was the real life starting lineup. And there you see it's Sabo, Duncan, Larkin, Benziger, Hatcher, Quinones at second, Rooms in right, Oliver catching, and Armstrong the pitcher. For the Mets, Jeffries at second, Magadan at third, Johnson at short, Strawberry in right, McReynolds in left, Marshall at first, Boston in center, Mackey Sasser doing the catching, and El Cid the pitcher. Based on the previous game, Rooms is our cold batter and Larkin is our hot batter, and of course Larkin gets the semi-home run king this game only. For the Mets, Strawberry struck out 3 times, so he is the cold batter. McReynolds is the hot batter based on what he did in the previous game. Umpires for today's game. Behind the plate is Ed Montague. At first base is Bob Davidson. Charlie Williams is at second, and John McSherry is at third. Okay. So I think we're ready to go. Chris Sabo will lead things off for the Reds. And Sabo on the replay is hitting .347, a homer and 7 driven in. And game number 19 is underway from Shea. Didn't mean to rhyme there, but it did. 1-2-5. Ask, is the pitcher a struggler? No, Fernandez is not a struggler. Is the batter patient? Sabo is not a patient batter. So he's going to ground it to third. He's not a whiffer, so he won't strike out. He'll just simply ground it to third. Easy play there for Magadan. And there is one away. That will send up number 2 hitter, Mariano Duncan, second baseman. He is hitting .391, no homers and 7 driven in. It's a 2.56. It also asks if the pitcher is struggling, which he is not. Is a batter champion or patient? He's semi-champion, but the dot says no. So we have infield drama for the Mets. And infield drama is not going to be good for the Mets. Jeffries is semi-iron, and so is Marshall. However, Magadan is semi-gold. So let's see if the semis are going to be full or not. They are full. So Jeffries and Marshall are iron at second and first. Magadan at third is gold. Shortstop Johnson is neutral. And this is on the infield drama chart. It's a 2-6 on the infield drama. Second baseman gold. No, second baseman is actually iron. If he was gold, it would be a line out. Otherwise, it's a single to center field. So it's going to be a base hit from Mariano Duncan, as Jeffries was not able to get to that. Let's move these out of the way. They should have been moved before the game started. How I missed that. But anyway, Duncan is aboard with a single, since Jeffries was not gold in that at bat. Well, he couldn't have been gold anyway. He was semi-iron, but he was never going to be gold. So Duncan's aboard, and that's going to bring up Barry Larkin. Again, he has the semi-home run quality, or semi-home run king quality, I should say. On the season, he's hitting .329, no homers, 11 driven in. So 1.56. Let's get back to the regular chart. 1.56. Is he a whiffer? He is not a whiffer. So we have outfield drama this time for the Mets. In the outfield, Boston is semi-iron and Strawberry is gold. Boston is neutral. So Strawberry is gold in right field. The other two are neutral in left and center. So we're going to roll for that. Outfield drama. We get a 3-5. 3-5 says left fielder gold. No, left fielder is neutral. McReynolds is neutral. If he had been gold, it would have been a fly out. Since he's not gold, it's going to be a double, and it's also in purple, so we're going to the chemistry chart. Now, the run on first, a lead die of 3. Check the base running. Lead die of 3. Runner advances 2 bases on any hit, single, or double. Stoic run on first base, it only advances second on a single, third base on a double. 2 bases on any single hit or double. All right, so it says they only get 2 bases. So Duncan's going to be at third. And Larkin has himself a double. Puts runners at second and third with only 1 out. And now we're going to the chemistry chart for the Todd Benzinger at bat. Reds are harmonious and the Mets are neutral. So and the infield is in for the Mets. We're going to team chemistry. 4-6. Pitching team no, they're neutral. It would have been a walk, but otherwise it's infield drama, which might be worse for the Reds, for the Mets rather, because the infield drama, they're not very good. See if those semis are full. They are. So again, Jeffries is iron, Marshall is iron, and Magadan is gold. That's a 3-5 on the. Let's get this light off of here. That's what's causing the problems. Let's turn this puppy off. Why aren't you turning off? There we go. That ring was getting to be a little bit of a hassle there. Okay, so 3-5 on the infield drama. 3-5 infield drama. 3-5 says third baseman iron. No, Magadan is actually gold, so they catch a break this time. If he was iron, it'd be a single left, otherwise a routine ground out. But on a lead die of 3, with the infield in, according to our chart up here on the, you can't really see it. It's up. It's on the page that I'm not able to show because of where everything is. Infield playing in lead die of 3. Runner on second and third. Lead die of 3. 1, 2, or 3. It says runners hold. If it had been 4, 5, or 6, it would have been a single through the infield. But with the lead die of only 3, it says runners will hold. So in this case, playing the infield in saved them a run, as the infielders had to hold on that play. So nice play by Magadan. Keeps the runners at bay. And that's going to bring up Billy Hatcher in a clutch situation. Second and third, 2 outs. Back on the regular chart. 292 average for Hatcher. 2 homers, 9 driven in. It's a 1-3-5, and that's the unusual results. And the black one means we're going to the ballpark. So we're going to check Shea Stadium, which is normal to both lefties and righties. So Shea Stadium, normal to lefties and righties. And we're going to roll. Don't need the decider because they have full qualities. 3-5. Big ballpark. Line drive caught at the warning track flyout. Otherwise, home run. So it's not a big ballpark. It's a neutral ballpark. So that means it's going to be a 3-run home run off the bat of Billy Hatcher. A 3-run bomb for Hatcher because we were not playing in a big ballpark. It was a neutral park, and the home run flew out of there. So a 3-run home run off the bat of Billy Hatcher. And for Hatcher, that is his 3rd home run of the season. RBIs 10, 11, and 12. And it is now a 3-0 game. Reds lead it here in the top of the first, and El Cid is not happy about it. That's going to bring up Luis Quinones, little used second baseman or utility infielder, playing second in this game, getting a rare start. And on the season, he's 0 for 4. Does have a run batted in. He has walked 3 times, so he is getting on base. Just hasn't got any hits. 2, 4, 6. That's asking if the pitcher has control. El Cid has semi-control, and the dot gives it to him. So it's going to be a ground out back to Fernandez to end the inning. But the Reds put up 3 runs here in the top of the first. And we go to the bottom of the first. It is Cincinnati 3 and the Mets coming to bat. Shea Stadium crowd is not happy about that. A certain person would say the stadium would have groaned after the home run. But all right, so on the mound for the Reds, Jack Armstrong. He's 1-2, which is not a good record. He's got 2 of the 5 Cincinnati losses, but his ERA is 1.93, just not getting the run support. 23 innings pitched, 16 hits, 5 walks, and 17 strikeouts. And I think I've still got this printout from the other day, which shows those numbers, so I'll show them again very quickly. We look at Jack Armstrong. There he is, a 1.93 earned run average, 1-2. He's making his 5th start. He's had 4 starts already. 23 1/3, 16 innings pitched, 6 runs, 5 earned, 1 long ball, 5 walks, and 17 strikeouts. So definitely has pitched better than his record would indicate. So he will start out against Greg Jeffries. 2-3-6, that's double control. He does not have that. However, Jeffries is eager. He's semi-eager. Decider says he's eager, so it's going to be a 2-ball count. 2-ball count instead of a walk. It's 2-ball count. We'll reboot. That is my house rule. That is not in the rules for History Maker. That is my house rule to reduce walks, because when I tested this thing a long time ago, the walks and strikeouts were kind of high. So that's one of the ways I try to minimize some of the walks. All right, 1-5-5. This batter, a home run king. He's a semi-slugger, but not a home run king. So he's going to fly to center field, and that's 1 away. One down. And that will bring us to Magadan, third baseman. 1-2-6. Is he fresh? That's the second batter of the game, so he's obviously fresh. So that will be a line out to second base. Snagged by Quinones, 2 down. And that brings up Hojo, playing shortstop in this game. Played third base in the first game, shortstop in this game. 1-1-4. It's also another freshman's check, of course, from the first inning, so it obviously is. It's a ground out to Larkin at short, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Mr. Armstrong. And at the end of one complete, it is Cincinnati 3 and the Mets nothing. And I know I'm hearing a faint rigging sound coming from a certain area, but I'm just going to ignore it. So, top of the second we go, and leading off will be Rolando Rooms. He's playing right field, giving O'Neill the game off against the left-handed starter. And on the replay, Rooms, and I carded him myself based on the card maker template. He hit 227 real world, so that's why he's getting the utility moniker. But he's hitting 286 on the season replay in 28 at bats. He's hitting 286, no homers, 2 driven in. All right, so he does have 2 home runs in real world in 75 at bats. So I get it, but he's so that's why I gave him the semi-slugger quality. All right, here's Fernandez, 1-4-5. He's not a struggler, so it's a ground out to third, and there's one away. So 1 down on that ground out to third. And that'll bring up Joe Oliver. Oliver hitting a .182, no homers, 5 driven in. 4-5-6. Is Oliver patient? He is not. He will fly to center. That is out number 2. And we're going to the chemistry chart for the Jack Armstrong at bat. Chemistry chart it is. And once again, Reds are harmonious and the Mets are neutral. And we get a 3-3. So we go to the chemistry chart on the 3-3, and we see pitching team distance. No, they're not distant. If they were, it'd be a base hit. Otherwise, it's a ground out to first baseman. So ground out to Marshall. He'll take it to the bag himself to end the inning. So it's a 1-2-3 inning this time for El Cid. And much better results. And that's going to do it for Cincinnati in the top of the second. Go to the bottom of the second. Still 3-0. Favor of the Reds. And the straw man, Darryl Strawberry, he is the designated cold batter in this game. And one thing I didn't realize on the score sheet that I picked up the score sheet. I picked it up because it was black and white and not blue. But I didn't realize that on this score sheet, I usually prefer the score sheet that goes inning by inning. But this is one of those history maker ones where it is at bat by at bat. So when I'm scoring it, this block from here to here is the first inning, and this block here is the second inning. So got to make my adjustment there to make sure that I'm marking things correctly. Just a side note, not anything you need to worry about because you're more focused on this than the score sheet, but just thought I would mention it in case anyone was curious. All right, I don't know why it seemed like it's tilted on me like that for some reason. I'm trying to fix this, and I don't want to get anybody dizzy, but I'm trying to get it fixed. But I don't know if that's possible. Trying, but it's just not working. So I think I'm going to have to leave it like that. It's going to have a slight tilt to it, unfortunately, it appears. Best I can get it. All right, so we go to the bottom of the second. I don't know why this thing won't hold fast. I had it there for a second, then I bumped it, and now it got messed up. Okay, now we're ready to go. Here's the straw man. 355 for Darryl Strawberry. And that ask is the pitcher a struggler? No, he's not. Is the batter a champion? No, he's not a champion. So he's going to ground out to second. Unless he's a whiffer. He's a semi-whiffer, but this time the dot says no, so it's just going to be a ground out to second. He will not strike out. So that is one away. Strawberry is retired, and that will bring up Kevin McReynolds. He is a designated hot batter for this game, is Mr. McReynolds. 3-5-6, that's a left-right split. It's a righty versus a righty, so that's going to be a Circle K strikeout. 2 down very quickly. That 3-5-6 is where the left-right split comes in, and it comes up enough to make it interesting, but not, it doesn't do it maybe quite as much as you might like if you're really into the splits. But in this game, since it's kind of a what if and a fantasy type thing, even though their statistics are, very, very realistic, I can live with this being limited left-right splits. So, and it comes up just enough to keep you on your toes. Here's Mike Marshall. 1-3-4 is the pitcher. I'm sorry, is the catcher goal? No, Oliver is neutral. Is the batter a champion? No, he's not a champion. So we got outfield drama for the Reds, and everybody in the outfield is neutral except for Mariano Duncan, who's semi-iron and left. So he will be fully iron. Left field is iron. Everybody else is neutral. And we get a 55 on outfield drama. A 55 in outfield drama. It says right fielder iron. So right fielder is going to be Rooms. He is not iron. So since he's not iron, it will not be a base hit. It'll be a fly out. And it's in purple, so we're going to the chemistry chart for the next at bat of this following inning, because that's going to end the inning right there. But this will carry over to the Sabo at bat in the top of the third. So 2 innings in the books, still 3-0 Cincinnati. And we are going to the chemistry result or chemistry chart for the Sabo at bat. So Sabo, of course, Reds are harmonious. Mets are neutral. 66 could be interesting no matter what it is, but we'll look at it real quick. 66, batting team harmony, yes. Fence, we have a fence check. Fence check for Sabo. He's a slugger. So we come down to this microchart fence, and we look at the slugger column. 5 or a 6 is a home run. 3 or 4 is a triple. 1 to 2 is a double. That's a 1, so he gets kind of cheated there a little bit. He gets a double. Odds were he's going to do better than that, but I guess you can't sneeze at the double either. Leadoff double for Sabo as he continues his hot hitting. Then I'll bring up Duncan. Duncan singled and scored his first time up. 1-3-4, gold catcher. Sasser is not gold. And then it asks, is the batter a champion? Duncan is a semi-champion. Dot says he is. So since he's a champion, he will single to left field. Now move Sabo to third base. So Duncan gets the dot to help him out. Turns his semi-champion into a full champion. And now the Reds have runners on the corners with nobody out. And Davey Johnson's got to wonder what the heck is going on with his pitching staff. He's going to bring up the hot hitter, Barry Larkin. Remember, he is a semi-home run king in this game only. Infield for the Mets is looking for the double play. They got to get outs. 2-4-5. Is the batter a hero? Larkin is a hero. He's going to single to left field. That's going to score Sabo. Duncan will stop at second. But the Reds now take a 4-0 lead. As Barry Larkin drives in the run. Drives in Sabo from third base. Duncan will stop at second. 4-0. Favor of the Reds. Still nobody out. And here's Benziger. 2, 3, 4. That is plate drama because runners are on base. We do have the plate drama. So with plate drama, another micro chart for the plate drama. Let's bring that in. Plate drama. And Sasser is neutral. Fernandez has semi-control, so going to roll the dot to see if a control check comes up. He will have control if the control check comes up for a pitcher. It's a 3-5. Catcher gold. No, Sasser is not gold, so it's going to be a pass ball. And we go to the chemistry chart. And that's going to move the runners up 90 feet. Had he been able to block the pitch, that orange would have sent us to the umpire chart, but the black's going to send us to the chemistry chart. So we do have a wild pitch. It's going to move the runners up. And we go to chemistry. Again, infield is in. Now they were on second and third. So Benziger on the chemistry chart. See what he can do. It's a 4-5, and that is batting team harmony. Yes, focus batter waits on pitch and gets a walk. So it's going to be loading the bases time as Benziger was focused and drew that walk to load the bases. And now El Cid is in seriously bad trouble. Seriously bad trouble. A wild pitch and now a walk. And that brings up Billy Hatcher with the 3-run homer his last time up. He's up there now with the bases loaded and nobody out. Infield looking for the double play. It's a 3-4-4. And a 3-4-4 ask, is the pitcher a prospect? No, Sid's an icon. Is the batter patient? No, he's semi-eager. He's going to pop it up to second. Infield fly rule. Everybody has to stay put. The infielders can't just drop it and get a double play out of it. Immediately, infield fly rule ruled by home plate umpire Ed Montague. So, pop out to second. That was a huge out. Now the infield can look for the double play to get out of the inning against Quinones. 4-4-5. Is the pitcher a workman? No, he's a semi-star. Is the batter patient? No, he's semi-eager. He will ground to first, and on a lead die of 4 with the infield back, it's going to be runner's advance. So the run will score. The only play is going to be to first base, and that is going to be Marshall taking it to the bag himself to get Quinones, but the run will score. Going to third is Larkin, and going to second is Benziger. There are now 2 outs, but 2 runs are in. And it is now 5-0 Reds. And that'll bring up Rolando Rooms. This might be it for El Cid. He might just go 3 innings. 1-5-6. Is he a struggler? I'm sorry, 1-5-6 is blank. Is the batter a whiffer? He is a whiffer. He's going to strike out. And that's going to end the inning. But 2 more runs come in for Cincinnati, and they take a 5-0 lead. For the Mets, it'll be Boston, Sasser, and Fernandez scheduled. But El Cid might get called back, and this might be a Met bullpen game. They got Ojeda. He is long reliever. He can go multiple innings in relief, so they may just have to do that. Right now, here's Darryl Boston. 4-5-6. Is he patient? He is semi-eager. He's going to fly to center, and that's 1 away. That will take us to the chemistry chart because that result was in purple. And we're going to Sasser's at bat on the chemistry chart. Again, Reds harmonious, Mets neutral. 35. Pitching team distance. No, they are not distant, so an inattentive infielder won't let the ball get past him, but it'll ground out to short. So since they were not dissonant, Larkin was on his P's and Q's and makes the play for out number 2. And now with 2 outs and the bases empty, they may go ahead and just let Fernandez hit. 2-5-6. Is the pitcher a struggler? No, he is not. Is the batter champion or patient? Neither one. So we got infield drama for the Reds. So Sid might reach anyway on the infield drama. Everybody on the infield is neutral. Whoop. And that one die just flew out of here. Go get that. And I'm going to re-roll both dice. My house rule is if all dice don't fit in the tray, then you re-roll everything. That still didn't fit in there. The heck? I was trying to roll that from my knees and didn't get it the way I wanted it. So let's try this. Third time's a charm. It's a 3-4. All right, 3-4. And we are looking at infield drama on the 3-4 with everybody neutral. 3-4. Third baseman Gold. No, he's not Gold. So it's going to be a base hit past Sabo. So how about that? El Cid gets the first Met hit of the game as he sneaks it past Sabo to keep the inning going. And now we're going to switch over to Jeffries, top of the order. Back to the regular chart. 2-3-6 double control, but again, this time he's semi-eager, but the dot doesn't give it to him. So this time the walk is good. And Jeffries will draw the walk and keep the inning going. A little bit of a 2-out rally by the Mets. Single and now a walk. And that's going to take us to Dave Magadan. 2-2-6. 2-2-6 says hit by pitch. Yes, the dot is there, so he gets plunked. So that's going to load the bases. So all of a sudden, Armstrong having some difficulty right here at the 2-out mark. A single by the pitcher, no less, and then a walk and a hit by pitch. And that has loaded the bases with 2 outs for Hojo. Boy, one swing of the bat by Hojo. He is a slugger. That could make this a 1-run game real quick. 3-4-5, though, is asking iron catcher no. Good eye, no. He's going to strike out to end the inning. And that results in blues. So we're going to the right now chart for the top of the 4th. But the Mets leave them loaded. Hojo strikes out with the bases loaded. And we go to the 4th. It is still 5-0 Cincinnati. And the Mets, unfortunately for them, leave the bases loaded. So now Oliver will be going to the right now chart against Sid. Sid is semi-hot because he struck out Rooms his last time up. Oliver is neutral because he flew to center. So on the right now chart, we look at the right now chart. Take a look at that. We're in this section right here. El Cid is semi-hot because he struck out Rooms to end in his last batter that he faced. Oliver is neutral. So now they're both neutral. 56. Hot pitcher, no. If the dot had come up, he would have been a hot pitcher. Shows best stuff for tiring sides. That's if he's hot. Otherwise, it's infield drama. So we're going to infield drama for the Mets, and we know how their fielding lack of prowess goes. All right, so all these semis are now neutral. So the whole Met infield is neutral. 2-5, second baseman iron, no. Jeffries was semi-iron, but the dot was not there, so he's not going to be iron. So it's not going to be a single, it's going to be a routine ground out. So a routine ground out to start the inning, as Jeffries this time around was not iron, and he didn't boot it. So Oliver is out 4-3. One away, and here comes the pitcher, Armstrong, who Grounded to Marshall his first time up. 1-3-5. Now it's blue 1, so we're going to the umpire chart for the first time. Black 1 goes to the ballpark. Blue 1 goes to the umpire chart. And it's base running sensitive, so we are at the empty section. So we're going to roll for that and see which umpire is called upon. It's a 44. Respected umpire at first base. Well, let's get the first base umpire out here. Bob Davidson. He is not respected. He is strict and questionable, not respected. So this answer is no. Respected umpire at first? Yes. Batter safe at first on stream of close play. No. Other umpires called batter out at first. So he's going to be out. Armstrong's going to be out. And let's see. We'll say, I don't want to. We'll say grounded to short since that's a 6. So it's a ground out to Hojo. And it was a close play at first base, but Bob Davidson, since he was not respected, called him out. So actually, in reality, the way it's worded, Armstrong actually beat that throw, but since the umpire was not respected, he didn't see it, and he called him out. So 2 outs, nobody on for Chris Sabo. That's a 1-1-2. And a 1-1-2 asks, does the pitcher have flash? Fernandez does have flash, so it's a strikeout. And that's going to end the 4th inning. Into the top of the 4th anyway. So nothing doing for the Reds as Fernandez gets the strikeout of Sabo. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Score still remains Cincinnati 5 and the Mets nothing. And the straw man will lead things off. 3-4-5. Ask if it's an iron catcher. No, he's not. Good eye. No, he's not. It's going to be a strikeout. So Strawberry strikes out to start the 4th. And it's in blue, so we're going right to the right now chart again. Armstrong is semi-hot based on that strikeout. McReynolds is semi-cold because he just struck out his last time out. However, he is a designated hot batter, so he will be hot this at bat despite striking out last time. He's hot, and Armstrong is semi-cold. So, I'm sorry, semi-hot also. So he is actually neutral now. So it's a neutral pitcher against a hot batter. And we get a 46. Neutral pitcher against hot batter on a 46 right now play. 46 right now. 46 right now. Hot pitcher. He would have been had the dot come up. He would have baffled the guy with the strikeout. Otherwise, ground out to the pitcher would only play at first base. Well, nobody's on base, so it doesn't really matter. It's just be a ground out. But had someone been on base, they would have advanced rather than striking out. But it all turns out to be a moot point with nobody on. So 2 down and Mike Marshall, the batter. 1-4-5. Ask, is the pitcher a struggler? He is not, so it's going to be a ground out to third, and that's going to end the 4th inning. Nothing doing for the Mets. And Armstrong just continues to lower that ERA. He's trying to even his record at 2-2, as this time the Reds finally scored some runs for him. So we go to the top of the 5th, and Sid will be facing Duncan, Larkin, and Benzinger. 3-3-6. Ask, is the pitcher an ace or dynamic? No, he's not. Is the batter Sazak, utility, or patient? None of that. He will single and he will steal. So Duncan's going to single, and since he's not stoic, he will steal. So Duncan a single and a stolen base to start the 5th. Single and a stolen base. And that turns us over to Larkin, the designated home run king in this game, also designated hot batter in this game. 1-3-4. Gold catcher, no. Champion, no, he's not a champion. And even if I gave him the semi-champion quality, it wouldn't work because the dot wasn't there. So we have outfield drama for the Mets. And in their outfield, Boston semi-iron, So he's neutral. So that means Strawberry is gold. Everybody else is neutral. And we get a 44 on outfield drama. 44, center fielder iron. No, he's center fielder is not iron because the dot didn't come up. So Boston is not iron. So it won't be a double. It'll just be a fly out. It is in purple. So we are going to the chemistry chart for this at bat of Mr. Benzinger. So chemistry chart it is. Will the Benzinger at bat? We get a 1-3 on the chemistry roll. 1-3. Pitching team harmony. No, they're not harmonious. So it's going to be a single, and it's in blue, which means they're going to the right now chart in the next at bat. So that's a single. Lead die 1. The runner only gets to third base. So runners are at the corners with 1 out. And we're going to the right now chart. Fernandez is semi-cold because he just gave up that hit. Hatcher is neutral. So semi-cold against neutral. So they're both going to be neutral on the right now chart. They're both going to be neutral. Infield, back for the double play. 2-5. 2-5 on the right now chart. 2-5. Hot batter. No, he's not a hot batter. He's a neutral batter. If he was, he ripped it single to right field. Otherwise, liner down the baseline, fielded by first baseman for a line out. So everybody's got to hold. That's 2 away as Marshall snags it to retire Hatcher. And now, with 2 outs and runners at the corners, it's Luis Quinones, switch hitting utility infielder. 2-3-6 has double control, doesn't have it. He's semi-eager. Dot says no, so it will be a walk after all. And so Quinones will draw the 2-out walk, keep the inning going for Rolando Rooms. And now you wonder if they were going to pull El Cid. I think they're going to have to. They're going to have to pull El Cid. The Mets are calling to the bullpen. Davey Johnson said he's seen enough. And there will be a double switch because the pitcher spot is coming up third next inning. So they're going to a right-hander, Alejandro Pena, out of the bullpen. And we'll need a new first baseman to take the place of Mike Marshall. So let's see who that's going to be. Who they have that can play first base. Well, in this kind of game, you kind of can move all around about playing first base. Magadan can play first base, and they can move somebody else to third. So that's what they'll do. They'll move Magadan to first base. Marshall will leave. Magadan will go to first base, which means they need a new third baseman. And the third baseman is going to be Tom O'Malley. So O'Malley will take over at third base and bat ninth. And he is stoic and an icon. And the pitcher spot will take over where Mike Marshall used to be in the number 5 position. And since Pena is coming in the middle of an inning, he gains the ace quality in this at bat. So he will be an ace against Rooms. So Pena making his way in from the bullpen. And he will be an ace in this at bat against Rooms with the bases loaded and 2 outs. We'll put O'Malley in the spot formerly held by the pitcher, which is the third, coming up third in the bottom of the inning. All right, so Pena to Rooms. And we'll get the numbers on Fernandez when the inning is over. 3-3-5. 3-3-5 Is the pitcher wild? No, he's not wild. Is the batter a sad sack? He is not a sad sack. He's going to single to right field. That'll be a 2-run single and a lead die of 3. Quinones will go to third base. Rooms, if he's stoic, he would steal if he wasn't stoic, but he is stoic, so he's going to hold. It'll be a 2-run single off the bat of Rooms. Those runs are charged to El Cid. It is now 7-0 favor of the Reds. And Pena couldn't get it done. So now that brings up Joe Oliver. Two, 3, 6. Again, double control doesn't have it. He is not eager, so he will walk. And that'll bring up the pitcher. The pitcher, Armstrong, will come up to bat. He is 0 for 2. A couple of ground outs. 3-6-6. He is not a pinch hitter. He will fly to center, and that will end the inning. But 2 more runs cross the plate. You can close the book now on El Cid. And we go to the bottom of the 5th with the score Cincinnati 7 and the Mets nothing. So obviously a rough game for the Metropolitans as the Reds finally give Jack Armstrong some run support, which he has not had all season. But he's got it now in spades. So that'll bring up Daryl Boston, Mackie Sasser, and Tom O'Malley for the Mets. 2-2-6. Is he hit by the pitch? Yes, he is. Boston is plunked. That is the second hit batter from Armstrong. So that's kind of weird. But it is the second hit batter. Here's Sasser. 4-5-6 for Sasser. Ask, is he patient? He is he's semi-eager, so he's not patient. He's going to fly to center. That is out number 1. And we're going to the chemistry result for the Tom O'Malley at bat. I think when I brought the pitcher in, Pena, I forgot to do the double switch on the computer. So I need to do that real quick. Backtracking. Good thing they have the it's a good thing they have the undo button is all I can say on this. So we go back, undo that, undo the single by Rooms. And now we're ready. Undo the previous thing to bring Pena in the game. So Fernandez is going to walk Quinones. Now we're going to bring Pena in, but I forgot to do the double switch on the computer because I was going to have Pena hit third in the order, and that's not right. Pena is going to come up and hit in Marshall's spot. Magadan's going to move to third. I'm sorry, move to first, I should say. And the new third baseman is O'Malley, batting in the number 9 position. So now we're straight. All right, and then he got Rooms to, well, he gave it the single to Rooms, the 2-run single. Then he walked Oliver and got Armstrong to fly to center. All right, so then Boston is hit by the pitch. Sasser flies to center. Now we're all caught up for Tom O'Malley. So it's O'Malley to bat with 1 out and 1 on. 2-3-6 double control. He doesn't have it. He's not eager, so that will be another walk. So this time, the walk is issued to Mr. O'Malley. So that's going to put 2 on with 1 out, and the top of the order, Greg Jeffries, stepping to the plate. One, two, three, flash and fresh. He's got semi-flash. Dot says he does. Plus he's semi-fresh. The dot says he's fresh, so it will be a strikeout. It would have been an ending double play, but the freshness gives him the strikeout instead, so the inning will continue. And Magadan still has a chance to get the first run of the game in for the Mets. 2-6-6. Is he the leadoff batter? No, he's not the leadoff batter, so he will fly to right field, and that will end the inning. So the Mets come away empty-handed despite putting 2 on. And at the end of 5, it's 7-0 Cincinnati. Glad I'm not doing this live because it would not have been very entertaining. And I would have been hearing it from the Peanut Gallery Met fans about how rigged this was. So it's better off them doing this as a recording. All right, so Pena now semi-fresh is going to face Sabo, Duncan, and Larkin to start the top of the 6th. 2-4-5. Is the batter a hero? He's a semi-hero, but the dot says no, so it's a pop out to second. And that is out number 1. It's in red, so we're going to the experience chart. Pena is an icon. Duncan is neutral. On the experience chart, icon against neutral. Whoa, hopping dice again. Let's re-roll that. Again, re-rolling both of them. Get a fresh roll out there. 2-6. 2-6 on the experience chart. 2-6 on the experience chart. Icon pitcher. Yes, he is an icon pitcher. Experience with batter strikes him out. So Duncan is out on strikes. 2 down. And that will send up Barry Larkin. 3-3-3. Boy. Now, keep in mind that we gave Larkin the semi-home run king as a boost, pre-game boost. 3-3-3 asks, is the batter utility or sad sack? He's neither one. It's a triple into the center field gap, but these 3 stars means if he's a home run king, it's a home run. He's a semi-home run king based on the game day result, but the dot does not give it to him. So he cannot hit the home run. He will get the triple, though. But he came that close to getting a home run. So Barry Larkin, a 2-out triple. And that will send up Mr. Benzinger. Benzinger with 2 outs and Larkin at third base. 1-2-3, flash and fresh. Yes, he's got the flash. The dot says he's fresh. So it will be a strikeout. And that will end the 6th inning. So I think that's going to be all for Pena, as he's going to be coming up to bat very shortly. So Pena is going to go an inning and looks like an inning and a third. I never did get the numbers on Fernandez. I need to do both. I'll do that when I do both of them. I'll get those numbers. So it'll be Hojo, Strawberry, and McReynolds. If anybody gets on, they'll bat for Pena. Pena's batting 4th this inning. Here's Hojo. 2-2-5. Is a pitcher a star? He's a semi-star. The dot says he is, so it's a ground out to the infielder by choice. And we'll say he grounds to Quinones since Quinones doesn't have a lot of playing time. He needs some fielding chances. So we'll ground it to Quinones at second base. One away. Plus he's a left-handed batter. Kind of makes sense. Here's Straw Man. 1-1-3. Is he an ace or dynamic? No, he's not. Is the batter a slugger? He's a home run king, but not a slugger. He's going to single to center unless he's a home run king or a sad sack. He happens to be a home run king, which means he's going to strike out. So Straw Man strikes out again. 2 down for Kevin McReynolds. 4-4-6. Is pitcher a star? Semi-star. Dot gives it to him. It's ground out to Quinones at second again. And that's going to end the inning. So it looks like Pena will pitch the 7th as well. So they'll let him pitch a little longer. He's only pitched an inning and a third. So I think he can manage to go another inning. Shouldn't be that hard, you wouldn't think. He is set to lead off the next inning, though. Not McReynolds, but because McReynolds just made that out. So it'll be the pitcher spot, Pena in the bottom of the 7th. So Pena, no freshness whatsoever now because he's in his his third inning of work where he came in a partial inning. It's only an inning and a third in real time, but he's on his third separate inning. He appeared in the 5th, the 6th, and now the 7th. So the rules state he is no longer fresh at all. 4-5-5. Does he have flash? Yes, he's got flash. It'll be a strikeout. So he strikes out Hatcher. One away. And that will send up next man in line, Mr. Quinones. 1-1-2. Does he have flash? Yes, he does. We just said he did. So it's another strikeout. So Pena going out in style. Another strikeout. 2 down for Rolando Rooms. 1-3-5. That's the unusual results in a black one. Says we're going to the ballpark. Once again, last time we did that, it was a 3-run homer off the bat of Hatcher. He's a semi-slugger. Not that that really matters necessarily. We'll roll the decider just in case, but looking right here at the ballpark chart, and Shea Stadium is neutral both ways. It's a 2-4. Big ballpark. No, it's not a big ballpark. Towering foul ball, plenty of room caught for the out. Otherwise, foul ball caught by fan near the third baseline, batter still at bat. So Shea Stadium, not deemed to have enough foul territory for the foul out to occur. It goes in the stands, so Rooms will get to swing again. 2-6-6. He's not the leadoff batter. And there's no way on first to be thrown out, so he is going to fly to right field to end the inning, and that's going to do it for Pena. He will now be done. And the Reds are done in the top of the 7th. So we go to the bottom of the 7th inning stretch time, and the Mets will have to make some decisions about a pinch hitter and a new pitcher and all that kind of good stuff. The new pitcher is going to end up being Bob Ojeda, but now we need to figure out a pinch hitter. And let's see who the Mets might want to go to as a pinch hitter. Looks like they're going to go to Mark Carrion. So Carrion will be your pinch hitter in the bottom of the 7th. And in the top of the 8th, they will have Ojeda. So Carrion will be the pinch hitter. Carrion. So let's get these changes in the computer. But first of all, I want to update the pitching lines on both Mets pitchers. So for for Fernandez, Fernandez is going to go 4 2/3. He is going to give up 8 hits, 7 runs, all earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and the 1 home run. Pena, 2 1/3, gives up 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Armstrong so far has pitched a 1-hitter through 6 innings. The only hit was Sid Fernandez, the pitcher, in the 2nd inning. Got a 2-out single in the 2nd inning. That's been the only hit by the Mets in this ball game. So Carry On now will come on and pinch hit for Pena. See if they can get something brewing here for the Mets. Mark Carry On, my wayward son. Well, don't know if there'll be peace when he is done or not. We'll find, probably not, because they're losing 7-0. So there might be a whole lot of peace when he's done. 1-3-3. Is he a slugger? He's a semi-slugger. The dot says he's slugger. It's a gone. It's a home run for Mark Carry On. So how about that for a brilliant move by Davey Johnson, bringing in just the right guy. A pinch hit home run for Mark Carry On. Carry On, a pinch hit home run. He's a semi-slugger. The dot gave it to him. And the Mets are on the board. It's now 7-1. Here's Darryl Boston. 1-3-4. Not a gold catcher. Is he a champion? No. We got outfield drama for the Reds. Everybody's neutral except for Duncan, who's semi-iron. So now he is iron in left field. Center field and right field are neutral. 3-5. Is it left field or is it right or center? 3-5. Left field goal. No, he's actually iron. So it's going to be a double off the bat of Boston. And on top of that, we are going to the chemistry chart. So Darryl Boston with the double. And now the Reds bullpen starting to loosen as it looks like Armstrong is starting to lose it just a bit. Might be tiring. He's certainly out of freshness. So now we're going to the chemistry chart for Mackey Sasser. That's a 3-5 on the chemistry. 3-5 on the chemistry. Pitching team distance, no, they're not. So it's going to be a ground out to short. Lead die of 3. The runners have to hold with the ball hit to the left side. So Sasser grounds out. Holding at second base is Boston. And that will bring up O'Malley. He walked in his, let's see what he did. Yeah, he walked his first time up as a pinch hitter. Or not a pinch hitter, when he came on a double switch, I should say. 2-5-5. 2-5-5. Ask, is the pitcher a star? He is a semi-star, but the dot says no. Is the batter a home run king? No, he's a semi-slugger, but not a home run king. So he will fly to left, and that is 2 away. So 2 down. They like to get Armstrong through this inning because he is scheduled to bat second next inning. So they can pinch it for him in the 8th. They just want to get him through the inning. He does have a 7-1 cushion to work with. Here is Jeffries. 1-4-4. Does the pitcher have flash? He's got semi-flash, but the dot says no. Is the batter a hero? He's a semi-hero. We have to re-roll and see if he's a hero. He is a hero. So since he's a hero, it's a single to right field. And with 2 outs, a lead die of 1, the runner scores. So it's an RBI single for Greg Jeffries. Cuts the lead to 7-2. A 7-2 ball game. And that's going to bring up Magadan. 1-3-6. He's not an ace. Is the batter whiffer or cold? Magadan is neither one. So we have infield drama for the Reds, and everybody's neutral in the infield. And we get a 1-6 for infield drama with everybody neutral. 1-6. Shortstop gold. No, he's not gold. It's going to be a base hit. And that's going to move Jeffries to second base. So Magadan sneaks it past Larkin, who was not gold. And now 2 are on with 2 outs for Hojo. Again, 1 long ball, and they're right back in this game. This will be the last batter for Armstrong. If he does not get Hojo, he will not let him face, Piniella will not let him face Strawberry. They'll bring in a lefty to face Strawberry. 3-6-6. I believe that's the pinch hitter one. Let's double check it. Yep, he's not a pinch hitter, so it's a fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. So Armstrong will complete 7 innings. Does give up the 2 runs, but a fine outing nonetheless. 2 runs and 5 hits. So 2 runs on 5 hits in 7 innings. And we need a new pitcher for the Mets. It'll be Mr. Ojeda. And he certainly has enough energy to finish out the ball game. Although he is set to bat 3rd in the inning, so there might be a double switch off of this as well. How they want to play this. Now they're going to go ahead and let him pitch there and stay there, and they'll just pinch hit for him in the next inning. So let's see. Let's get the numbers off of Armstrong because his day is now done. So we can close the book on him. So let's see what we got here. He's going to go 7 innings, give up 5 hits, 2 runs. They were earned. Walked 2, struck out 5, and gave up the 1 long ball to carry on. So top of the 8th, it'll be Ojeda, the new pitcher. The Reds will need a pinch hitter for Armstrong because he is set to bat 2nd this inning. So they will bring in a right-hander off the bench or a switch hitter or somebody off the bench. So it looks like it's going to be Ron Oster. So Oster will be the pinch hitter. It'll be Oliver, Oster, and Sabo. So Oster will do the pinch hitting here in the top of the 8th against Ojeda. Seven to 2, top of the 8th. Oliver is your batter. He is 0 for 2. 1-3-5. That's an unusual result once again. We're going to Shea Stadium once again. Normal ballpark. Unusual to get this many ballpark checks. Very unusual. I can go lots of games without even checking the ballpark once. I think this is like the 3rd time we're doing the ballpark effects. 2-4. Big ballpark. Same thing we had before. It's not a big ballpark, so the ball goes in the stand. Same exact roll, 2-4. So it's just a foul ball, and we'll reboot with Joe Oliver. That's a 4-5-5, and we'll check that one. I think it's a flash check. It is. Ojeda has semi-flash. The dot says he has flash, so it is a strikeout. So Ojeda strikes out Oliver to start the top of the 8th. one away. And now we get the pinch hitter, Ron Oster. So Oster will be on. He's the only non-lefty on the bench. And he's hitting .278 and 18 at bats, no homers or runs driven in. So Ron Oster. 1-1-5. Is the pitcher fresh? Well, yes, because it's a second batter face, so he's obviously fresh. It's going to be a pop out to Jeffries at second base. Infielder by choice, I just picked Jeffries. 2 down. And that will send up Sabo. 1-1-6. Yes, he's fresh again, and it's going to be a strikeout. So Sabo's out of there to end the 8th inning. So Ojeda is going to go 1 inning and not give up anything, striking out 2. And that's it for the Mets. And Ojeda in the top of the 8th. He will be relieved because the pitcher spot is coming up. Now it's Strawberry, McReynolds, and a pinch hitter. So it's lefty, righty, and then a pinch hitter. And the Reds need a new pitcher. So let's see who on the Reds maybe could use the most work. Who needs to get some pitching in? Well, Leana has pitched 9 innings. Bertzes has pitched 8. Myers has pitched 8. Dibble has pitched 16, so I definitely don't want to use him. So it looks like we're going to go with Tim Bertzes, the lefty. And on the replay, Bertzes is 2-0 with no saves and a 1.13 earned run average. 8 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts. So Tim Bertzes, the left-hander, will be facing Strawberry, McReynolds, and a pinch hitter for the Mets. Bertzes to Strawberry. 2-3-3, ace or star. He's neither one. A slugger. He's a home run king, but not a slugger, so he's going to fly to center. So Strawberry flies out to the center fielder Hatcher, 1 away, and here's McReynolds. 3-6-6. He's not a pinch hitter. He will fly to center field again. 2 down, and now a pinch hitter for Ojeda. And they will call upon Tim Tuffle. They wanted a right-hander to come in and pinch hit against the lefty Bertzes. So Tim Tuffle is the one who gets the call. Tim Tuffle. He will pinch hit with 2 outs and the base is empty. 1-5-6. Is he a whiffer? Tim Tuffle is a semi-whiffer. Dot says he is, so he will strike out to end the inning. So that does it for the Mets here in the 8th. Go to the 9th. Mets will need a new pitcher. And we'll use the only guy in their bullpen that, let me see, did Musselman pitch the previous game? Yes, he did. So did Machado and Whitehurst. So the only reliever that has not pitched yet in the 2-game series is John Franco. And we're going to say that he needs some work because he hasn't pitched in a while. So they're going to bring in John Franco. Will the Mets to pitch the 9th inning. So John Franco, the former Red, will come on and pitch. And he'll be facing Duncan. Larkin and Benziger, heart of the order for the Reds. 7-2 Reds. 7 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Reds. 2 runs, 5 hits, and no errors for the Mets. 3-4-4. Prospect pitcher. No, he's an icon, or semi-icon, I should say. Is he batter patient? No, he's semi-eager, so he'll pop to second. And that's 1 away. So Duncan is out, 1 down for Barry Larkin. Whoop, the blue die did not go through, so let's try that again. 3-4-6. Is he eager? He is semi-eager, but the dot says no, so it'll be a walk. It will be a walk to Larkin. And that result is in purple. So we're going to the chemistry chart for Benziger. 1-6 on the chemistry chart. 1-6 batting team distance. No, they're not distant. If they were, he would swing at a poor pitch for a pop out, so it's going to be a walk instead. So back-to-back base on balls. Oh, and I forgot to put the runners out there, didn't I? So now Larkin's at second and Benziger is at first. Back-to-back walks issued by Franco after getting the first out. And that brings up Billy Hatcher. He got the game going with a 3-run homer in the first inning. The Reds haven't looked back since. 2-5-5. Is the pitcher a star? Pitcher is not a star. He's a semi-ace, but he's not a star. His batter, home run king. Hatcher is not a home run king. So he will fly out to left field. Would have hit a home run. He did not the home run king, so he will fly out. 2 down. And it brings it over to Quinones. 3-4-6. Is he eager? He's semi-eager. The dot says no, so it'll be another walk. So, boy, Franco's getting squeezed by home plate umpire Ed Montague here late in the game. Would think with a score like this, they want to get the game over with, but apparently not. Now we're going to the chemistry chart again for the bat of Orlando Rooms. Bases loaded and 2 outs. That's a 1-2. 1-2 on the chemistry. Batting team distance. No, they're not dissonance. So it's not a strikeout. It's a fence check instead. And he's a semi-slugger. And we're going to the fence check. We'll see if he is a slugger or not. Whoops, let's get it through the hole here. He is not a slugger, so he's going to be on the other category. He's still at least going to get a double at worst. That's a 4. He gets a triple. So how about that? Orlando Rooms, a base-clearing triple off of Franco. 3 runs are in. It is now a 10-2 ball game. And Franco is beside himself. And Davey Johnson's like, just get out of this thing and let us get out of here and get the Reds out of here. We're tired of playing them. So here's all. Good thing it's only a 2-game series, I guess. 1-3-4. 1-3-4 ask. Goal catcher, no. Champion. Oliver's not a champion. So we have outfield drama for the Mets. And again, in the outfield, Boston is semi-iron. Strawberry is gold. Now, Strawberry's gold. Everybody else is neutral. 4-6 in the outfield drama chart. 4-6 outfield drama. Left fielder iron. Nope. McReynolds is neutral, so it's a line out to end the inning. Thank goodness for that. 3 runs come in for the Reds. They bookend the line score with 3 in the first and 3 in the 9th. Go to the bottom of the 9th. And it is a 10-2 ball game. The result was in purple, which means you normally go to the chemistry chart. but they are going to pinch hit for Boston, I think, or are they? No, they're not going to pinch hit for Boston. He's a pretty good hitter, so they're going to leave him in there. So that means he will go to the chemistry chart for the Daryl Boston at bat. But well, Davey Johnson might want to get another hitter in there against the lefties. So they're going to bring in, they're going to pinch hit with Darren Reed for Daryl Boston. So Darren Reed will pinch hit. That puts us on the regular chart, not the chemistry chart. So Reed will get the pinch hitting call in a 10-2 game. Why not use some of your bench in a blowout? So Darren Reed will pinch hit for Boston off the regular chart against Bursis, who is now semi-fresh. That's a 1-4-5. He is not a struggler, so it's ground ball to third. That's one away. So Reed is out. And that will bring up Sasser. Sasser is 0 for 3. He will be called back for a pinch hitter, Barry Lyons. Another right-handed hitter for the Mets. They will go to Barry Lyons. So Barry Lyons is picking up a bat. And he will hit for Sasser. .355. Almost got that 3.56 lefty righty thing. Would have worked that time. 3.55, not a struggler. Is he a champion? No, he's not. Ground out to second unless he's a whiffer. He's a semi. Dot says he is. So Lions will strike out for out number 2. Down to the final out, and it is Tom O'Malley. 1-1-4. Is he fresh? No, Dot says he's not. Is a batter sad sack or patient? He's neither one. He's going to single to right field is O'Malley. So O'Malley singles to keep the game going. That results in purple. We're going back to the chemistry chart for the Greg Jeffries at bat. That's a 3-6 on the chemistry. 3-6 on the chemistry chart. Batting team harmony. No, they're not harmonious. It would have been a double. Otherwise, it's a fly out to left and the ball game is over. So finally, the ball game ends. It was a long one, but the game is now over. This one belongs to the Reds, as a famous announcer once said. And the Reds have now won 4 in a row. They improved to 13-5. Check that, 14-5. They improved to 14-5. Or was it 13-5? I think it's 13-5. Yeah, they're 13-5 now, I do believe. Let me double check this. Yeah. Because they were 12-5 after winning the. No, they should be 14-5. I got to double check that because one of those games was a shortened rainout game, and I thought I updated the win total for the Reds. Maybe I did not. I'll go back and look at their overall, all their games, their game logs, and make sure I'm correct on this. But Bursis goes 2 innings. Of course, doesn't get a save or anything like that. 2 innings and a hit, no runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. Franco is going to go 1 inning. He's going to give up 1 hit and 3 runs. He walks 3. And that was his bugaboo. So total 10 runs, 11 hits, and no errors for the Reds. They left on 7. For the Mets, 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors. They left on 8. Winning pitcher Jack Armstrong, he is 2-2. Losing pitcher Sid Fernandez in the Stratomatic replay that I'm doing on all non-Reds games, he is 2-1 on the replay. So the Mets in that replay are 12-10 now. And like I said, the Reds are either 13-5 or 14-5. I got to figure out which one, but we'll get it all straightened out because from here, the Mets will charter a plane to St. Louis and they will start a 4-game road trip or 4 games series in St. Louis. It'll be games 3 through 6 of the road trip. So it'll be a long 4-game series in St. Louis. Then they do a quick stop in Pittsburgh for 2 games on the road trip to finish it off. And then they'll come back home and face those Chicago Cubbies. But that's going to do it from here. Reds get it done. Player of the game for the Reds, if you want to pick one. Let's see. Well, Hatcher had the 3-run homer in the first, but he didn't do anything after that. So to me, the player of the game is Barry Larkin. He is 3 for 4, single, double, and a triple. Scored 2 runs, drove in a run. So I think the player of the game is Barry Larkin. He will be the player of the game. He will lose his semi-home run king going forward because that was just a 1-game thing. And when we go to St. Louis, we'll have new game day checks, probably new umpires and everything, new opponent. Everything will be fresh. And the first game of that series will be live. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you all had a nice day whenever you're watching this. And hopefully, if you've lasted this long, thank you for hanging in there despite the score being what it was. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.